this special training, which began some few weeks ago. And on behalf of Professor Darkwa as well, I would like to welcome all of you, most especially to our distinguished academics and all our users who have had time throughout the past 5 weeks. So we started this training on the 4th of June 2020, where we looked at how to manage your online presence. And then on the 11th of June, we looked at how to teach online. 18th of June, we couldn't hold the session because we were looking for a bigger platform that could accommodate all of us. And on the 25th of June, we combined the two modules, and that is how to welcome students to the online environment and also how to organize your course online. Today, we'll be looking at planning and facilitating online discussions. And we are privileged to have our resource person online once again to take us through the presentation. May I kindly request that if you are not speaking, you mute your microphone so that you enable the speaker alone to have the floor. When we get to question and answers time and you would want to make a verbal contribution or ask a question verbally, we would allow you to speak via your microphone. But throughout the presentation, we kindly request that you switch off or you mute your microphone whenever you are speaking around your environment. On this note, may I humbly welcome Professor Darkwa, who has been our excellent facilitator and our trainer throughout the session, to have the floor. After his presentation, the Q&A continues. Professor Darkwa, if you can hear me, welcome to our 5th lesson, and please take the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kwesi, and hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. As Kwesi said, this is a series of webinars to, assist faculty acquire the skills as they make the transition from face-to-face to online teaching and learning. Today I have a co-presenter. His name is Emmanuel Freeman. He will help us with the practical and demonstration aspect. So I'll start, and then at some point, I'll invite him to come in, and then he will take us through some of the tools that you need to help facilitate your online discussion. Now, let me see if I can share my screen at this point. Let me make sure that. I hope you can see my screen now, right? Can you see my screen? Okay, yeah. Great.
Can I make a suggestion, please, Professor?
Yeah.
I noticed that participants inadvertently scribble on the screen while you're presenting. Is it possible that you could disable participant annotation on the screen in order to avoid scribbling on the screen?
Oh, okay. I'll let my technical team do that. So, yeah, they'll do that. Thanks a lot for the suggestion. All right. So the topic is facilitating online discussion forum. We have a brief outline today. Introduction is about, the notion of online facilitation and, how far we've come, with that. How do you define that? Why is it important? There's this notion of assessment, and there I like to pick your brain. So we have a short polling on that, because sometimes, people have different notions about great or not too great, so I just want your thoughts on that when we get there, and then we take it from there. And then what are some of the tools that you can use? These are the online tools. And this is where my co-presenter, Freeman, will come in to demonstrate some few tools. And then, sharing of best practices. Some of you are experienced online teachers. Maybe there's a way you do online facilitation. So that'll be a good time to share. And then we'll move to the Q&A session. So generally, that's a roadmap, for today's meeting. Now, Alan and Simon, and I quote, they said, the quality and quantity of interaction between faculty and students and among students constitute a significant component in the discussion of quality for any course, whether online or face-to-face. How do you achieve that? You achieve that through online facilitation. Now, what do we mean by online discussion? Now, online discussion in general is regarded as an asynchronous form of posting messages or attachments on the course website. It is an area in your online course where information can be shared. Now, there's a short video which summarizes most of the issues that we are going to discuss today. So I'm going to play that video for all of us so that at least it will say that it's on.
Discussion forums are the workhorse of the online environment. Discussion forums are a space where students get to know one another and share their work. Groups discuss and collaborate. And instructors share information and answer questions. Here, we're focused on discussion forums as a space where students can collaboratively explore ideas and give and get feedback from peers. In this module, we will review planning and facilitating online discussions. The difference between casual discussion and discussion that results in deep learning is planning. Online discussions require more preparation and planning than face-to-face discussions, in part because online discussions might be assessed. When planning for an online discussion, consider discussion prompts, expectations, and assessment. Discussion starts with a good discussion prompt. First and foremost, your prompt must support your course learning outcomes. It must also encourage a range of responses, or there won't be anything left to say after one student responds. Avoid prompts that ask for factual answers or ones that students can answer by summarizing material from a textbook. This will result in students parroting the same material to one another. That's not what a discussion looks like. Be sure your prompt emphasizes those higher order skills that we associate with deep learning. Let's rewrite this question to invite multiple perspectives and have students synthesize and apply what they've learned. When planning discussion assignments, be sure to establish expectations for participation. Students need to know the value of the discussion, both the grade value and the relevance of the discussion topic. They need to know the amount of effort they should invest. This might be time spent, the length of the post, or the word count that you want. Students need to know if you expect formal or informal language, and they need a timeline for initial posts as well as responses. Students need to know how they are expected to engage their peers. For instance, how many peers should they respond to? How often should they respond? And what constitutes a good response or good feedback? They also need to know how they will be evaluated for participation in this activity. Assessment provides a strong motivation for student participation. How will you assess students' contributions to a discussion? Criteria might include the number of posts they make. Perhaps you will assess students in the quality of their questions and feedback to peers. How you construct your assessment criteria depends on your learning goals and the behaviors you wish to reinforce. You can give students more rigorous feedback with rubrics. Here is an example of an assessment strategy that utilizes the discussion forum grading system. Each post rated on a scale of 4, strongest, to 0, no points awarded. What are strategies for facilitating an online discussion? And how do you help your students take responsibility for sustaining the discussion? As the instructor, you want to make your presence felt. Be active in online discussions. Especially in larger online classes, you want to make your voice heard by many students without responding to every post. For instance, you can spot read student posts, then post a general class or to each group. Or you might have small groups report out to the class in a forum designated for a whole class discussion. In your role as facilitator, be sure to recognize useful contributions. Resist providing answers yourself and encourage students to respond to one another's questions. Help your students take responsibility for sustaining discussion by giving them specific strategies for engagement. For instance, prompt them to pinpoint areas of agreement as well as disagreement. You might even give your students examples of comments and questions they can use.
Ask a question or make a comment that encourages another person to elaborate on something they wrote.
Make a comment that underscores the link between two people's contributions.
Make a comment indicating that you found another person's ideas useful. Be specific as to why this is the case.
When planning discussion forums, remember, write discussion prompts that are relevant, inclusive, and promote deep learning. Create clear expectations and indicate to students how they will be assessed. As a facilitator, be an active presence, but be strategic. Participating in discussions is time-consuming. Finally, help your students to take responsibility for sustaining the conversation. Learning how to really engage in the back and forth of discussion in an academic environment is a valuable skill that your students can practice and develop with your guidance.
Hello, Professor Darkwa. We can't hear you at the moment. Could you kindly ensure that your microphone is on? Thank you.
Where are you going to?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I think you muted everybody, so I understand because there's a lot of background noise.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I was saying that this is a very good summary video on discussion forum. 3 main issues which will cut across most of our discussion for today. The first is discussion prompts. The prompts are the guidelines that you provide to your students. And the guidelines should be linked toward your learning outcomes. That is one key factor. The second is establishing expectations. What do you expect from your students? You know, sometimes students will come and say, I agree. You know, is that what you expect from them? You know, so expectations should be clearly outlined. And then the third thing is assessment, and we'll get to that. Assess or not to assess, you know. So you need to decide, do they get points for that or not, you know, and how are you going to, you know, give them credit, you know, for discussion. So these are 3 key themes. As I said, they will cut across most of what we are going to discuss today. Now, why do we use discussion forum? We say that it's more convenient, right? Because 24/7, it doesn't matter what time zone you may be in. anytime. It's an asynchronous platform. So you can just go in and then make your contribution. It's flexible. It's less resource intensive. You can do it on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer. It doesn't require that much. Mostly it's embedded within the learning management system. It's also an avenue to discuss the material you have covered on a weekly basis. It's a good summary. That is why they call it the workhorse of the online environment. You can post, you can comment. It also creates an online community, and that is what we all expect. What are some of the key benefits? One is individualization of learning. It's more personalized. It's open-ended. People have the right to write within the guidelines that you have provided. Student autonomy. Remember, with online teaching and learning, we've moved from teacher-centered to student-centered learning. It increases our interaction time because it's not facilitator to student. It could be student to student, student to facilitator, student to content. See, that is how it is. Again, it's more convenient, it's more flexible, and stuff like that. And there's a bunch of research to support the role of discussion forum, in student learning. Now, I took this from some of the empirical studies. There's overwhelming amount of research saying students deeply learn and they grow through frequent conversations and debates on salient academic topics. Why? Because it's like an extension of the classroom. 24/7 is convenient, it's flexible. Students are interacting among, themselves. It promotes deeper engagement, with the subject. There are some few terminologies that we need to understand. One is called a post. A post is my contribution in a discussion forum. I write something, and that is what I am posting. Well, once I post something, it becomes what is called a thread. A thread is series of posts centered around, a topic. So student A writes, student B comments, student C comments. It becomes the thread is centered around the same topic. So understand a post and a thread, and then there's also what is called a forum. Three key concepts. Post is what I write. Thread is the discussion series of, posts will give us a thread. And then the forum is an area of the discussion where participants discuss a topic or a group of related, topic. So it creates a forum. So this is where we have, within a given forum, we have multiple threads. People are posting and becomes a forum for online, discussion. So post, thread, and forum. These are basic concepts that we need to understand in order to facilitate online discussion. Now, within our learning management system, we have a lot of tools to facilitate, online facilitation. 4 key ones. One is we say that define participation, requirements. As I said, set expectations. You don't want students to be writing, writing. What's the goal of the writing? That is why we're saying that link it to what your learning outcomes. The questions have to be effective. You want the students to respond. So if the question is not effective, how are they going to respond? You also encourage new ideas. You always want the students to be creative. You want them to be innovative. And you as a facilitator will be in the background to moderate. We always say, be around, be present is always key. Online presence, one of our webinars, we dealt with that. I think that was the very, very first one. I chose that because online presence is very, very critical in online teaching. And then we talked about, all the different presences, social presence and teacher presence and cognitive presence, is a model by Anderson, and his team, which is very crucial. Okay. Right now, to grade or not to grade, this is where I want to pick your brain, generally to see where you stand on this issue. So we're going to do 2 quick polls. And again, you go to, on your connecting device, on your phone, or your tablet, you type in the browser, poolev.com/Osei Darkwa 206, and you will see this question on your phone or on your tablet or on your computer, if that is what you are using. On your browser, please type poolev.com/Osei Darkwa 206, and you see this question. Sometimes to ask you for your name and stuff like that. But this question, and just write, what do you think about assessing learner contribution in an online discussion forum? Just 1 sentence. I want your thoughts. Should we assess or not? And sometimes people are saying that if you don't assess, people will just be writing. And then others say, well, if you assess, then they know that at least they'll get points for that. So the kind of posting will be different. So I just want to pick your position or your opinion, on this. We'll just take some few ones, maybe the first 10 or 15, and then we take it from there. Somebody says very important to get comprehension. Okay, very important. So it means that maybe we should assess indirectly. That's what the person is saying.
Please repeat the instruction. Please repeat the instruction.
It's poolev.com/Osei Darkwa 206, as you see on the screen in your browser. On your phone, you just type as you see it, poolev.com/Osei Darkwa 206. And then you just, somebody says, very important to get comprehension. Yeah, it's coming in. It's important to ascertain the success, the learning. We just take a few, it is necessary to give learner understanding of the content presented so far.
I don't know where I should write. I can't see where I should write.
In your browser, please. Your browser, where you always write www or whatever it is. Yeah, people are voting. Vital to measure student expectation of what they have learned. Okay. So far, it appears people favor assessing online facilitation. We'll just take some few comments and then we'll move on. Okay. Some say, yes, it is necessary to assess learner contribution. Very important. Need to know how well you as teacher are doing as well. Okay, great. Assessment encourages participation. Okay. Important for monitoring their level of participation. Okay. Assessing learner contribution is very important in order to evaluate their needs. It is important to ascertain whether, yeah, you got it now. So it appears about 99.9% are leaning towards assessing, and stuff like that. Okay, it's great. Now you got it. It's essential as part of the learning process. Necessary to know how the student, okay, interesting, can be. Okay, all right. So at least I know where you are now. So let's move on to the next question. Is also an aspect. Now the same. So you can clear that one, and wherever you are, the same. There's another question which will appear. It says, do you use a rubric or marking scheme when you access online forum? Some people are saying yes, they use a rubric. We'll talk about that. People are saying sometimes. People are saying I've never used rubric before. Okay. So we see how the vote is going. We just want to see where you are with that. That is assuming that you assess online facilitation, online discussion. Do you use? Most people are saying they've never used rubrics. Okay, that's fine. You know, there's a short video which will clarify what is a rubric and how to use it, you know, and stuff like that. I think this is good. We know most of you have not used rubrics, at least based on those who have voted, you know. So this is good, you know, just to pick, you know, your brain on that, okay? So at least now 48%, I know as the vote come in, the numbers will change, but at least based on what we have now, most of you have never used rubrics. All right, let's move on. Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, so assess or not to assess. Based on your voting, 99.9% are saying that it is always good to what? To assess. Now, let's view a short video on assessment, assessing online discussion, a very short one.
This video, Assessing Discussion Boards, is being recorded for Tulsa Community College's Instructor Certification Workshop. My name is Brown, and I'm one of the co-facilitators in the workshop.
Okay.
Are you using or thinking about using discussion boards in your class? This presentation will shed some light on the options that you have.
Yeah.
Where is the video?
Okay, hold on.
Where is the video, sir?
I can't see the video.
Okay, hold on. Let me try again.
Thank you.
Sometimes, let me try again. I'm gonna go back to it. I don't know why it wasn't showing. Let's hope that it shows up this time. You can see my screen now, right?
Yes, Prof, you can see the screen.
Okay, let me try the video again. Can you see it now?
This video, Assessing Discussion Boards, is being recorded for Tulsa Community College's Instructor Certification Workshop. My name is
blank.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's continue. What it's saying is that, and based on actually the way you voted, you know, generally people are leaning towards assessment when it comes to online discussion forum. I mean, the video is just trying to emphasize that point. I don't know why it's showing blank. So maybe I'll check it later. And then we also share it, you know, and make sure that you have access to it. It's a very, very good video, short one, about 3 minutes, to further highlight, you know, the notion of assessing discussion forum. All right, now let's continue. As I said, within your learning management system, there are several tools to facilitate online discussion. The first is discussion board. It doesn't matter what learning management system you are using. It could be Zoom, it could be Blackboard, it could be Moodle, you know, all of them could be Sakai, it could be Schoology, it could be Desire to Learn, name it. All of them have similar tools to facilitate online. The basic ones are the ones that I mentioned. The first is the discussion board. You know, you go and then you select discussion and you set it up. The other is polling, just like what I did. Most of the learning management system, they have a polling function. You know, just like I use an external tool here, but even within Zoom, they have a polling, you know, function. You know, so that is also another way. You can poll them. You can ask them about the opinion, you know, and then they will respond, just like we did. So that's another tool to facilitate online discussion. The next is email. You can always send within most of the learning management systems, all of them. You know, you can email to the entire students or you can email to individual students. And then there's always an announcement, which is a great tool. You know, you can post it out there for the students to respond to you. You know, these are tools within your learning management system to facilitate, discussion forums. Now, we have several external tools that also supports discussion forum. No, I just selected a few. There's Padlet, there's Socrative, there's Quizlet, there's Piazza. At this point, I'm going to invite my co-presenter, Emmanuel Freeman. Is going to take us through, at least because of time limitation, to take us through at least one tool, one external tool that you could also use to facilitate, online discussion forum. So, Mr. Freeman, I invite you, to continue. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you. And good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and greetings from Accra, Ghana.
Do I stop sharing now, right? So
yes,
that
Prof.
I can take it. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I appreciate, hello.
Wow.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
okay.
Go on.
Good, thank you so much. And I want to welcome all of you to this section of the training. I am Emmanuel Freeman, and I'm going to help facilitate this particular section. First of all, like Prof shared, there are a bunch of tools we can use to engage our students for online collaborative engagement and also for forum discussions. I will show you two of those tools, but before I show you, I want you to visit www.socrative.com, one of those tools that we are going to use. And I want you to click on the login. Then you see student login. Student login. I believe you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see it.
Very good. Just visit socrative.com. Then you see login, then you click on student login. For the purpose of this video and this engagement, all of you here will be students for now. So I want you to click on the login, then click on the student login. Now, when you click on the student login, it will require you to enter the room name. Kindly enter the name you see here, Freeman 3786. I have some few questions that I want us to collaboratively get engaged. And when we are done, it will help. We will now create our own pages for online engagement with our students. So this is one of the tools.
Which name do we add?
Freeman 3786. I have seen one person. I have seen two. Enter the room name. I have seen three. Good. Kindly answer 3786.
3786.
Good. All your feedbacks here are 100% anonymous. But as a lecturer, if you want to see your student, maybe we can allow them to enter their name. But I'll show you how to go about it. But the purpose of this report view I'm showing you on Socrative is to help engage your student, also to collaborate online, and also for seamless engagement with them. Good. So we have 22 now. We are giving ourselves the next 3 minutes or 4 to get connected. We are 223, so if we are able to get about 50 or 100 out.
Freeman 37 what?
86.
Please. Oh, thank you.
Yes, Freeman 3786.
Repeat the process, please.
Visit just type socrative.com in Google or in your web browser. Then you click on the login. You see teacher login and student login. For the purpose of this interaction, you are all students. So click on the student login and enter the room name as Freeman 3786. Good. If we clock 50, I'll pause and show the feedback.
Should we answer the question there?
Please go ahead and answer the questions.
Thank you.
Good.
Please come again with how to enter the room, please.
Just click on student login and then enter the room name. The room name is Freeman 3786, as you see on the board.
I'm sorry, my network is not stable. Can you come again, please?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Please, my network is not stable. Can you please come again?
Okay. Please, all you need to do is to Google Socrative.com or just type Socrative anywhere. Then you click Socrative, SOCRATIVE. You see the URL here.
Okay.
Then .com. Then you type in student login. Okay. Student login. The login. Then you enter the room name as Freeman 3786. Freeman,
okay, thank you.
3786. Good. Good.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, I'm not getting the point.
Okay.
Where should I do that?
You click on login. I have got about 80, so I think we can use it. Click on student login, then you click on room name. Type the room name as Freeman 3786. Freeman 3786.
Here, find the participants is there. Here, what should type?
Please don't annotate. Those annotating, kindly stop the annotation.
Mr. Freeman, can you just disable the annotation? You can do it yourself.
Yes.
Question number 6.
I'm not able to that.
I copied the link to Padlet.
Yeah.
But I don't seem to understand what is.
I'll get it. No, I'll just get it. No problem.
Okay, so on the answer on the Socrative number 6 should be left blank?
It should be left blank here for now.
So should I submit it or leave it that way?
Yeah, just leave it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, all right. Perfect. Thank you so much. We have 100 responses, and I appreciate your feedback. In fact, the purpose of this platform is to help engage with your students and also to enhance collaborative engagement, getting real-time feedback from your students, and also to engage in discussions. For example, I asked this very first question, that are you using any technology-enhanced learning tool to perform online discussion forum? Out of 111, 101 have answered. I think you can see my screen. Now, if I click here, you see from your screen, I hope you can see the results.
Yes, yes, sir.
Very good, very good. So those of us present online, we have about 53% of us saying you are using some level of technology-enhanced learning tools to perform online discussion, which is quite fantastic. Now, we have 25 or 24, the number is reducing because this is real time, so you see the differences. So about 18% says, although they are aware, they lack the skills. And then 6 says they are not aware at all. Kindly mute your mic if you are not talking. Good. Let's move on to the next question. Good. The next question, I needed feedback from you as to the challenges you face when you are using online tools to engage students. In a matter of about 5 minutes, we got close to about 86 responses, which is quite impressive. And the numbers keep shooting up. Issues like poor internet connectivity, power struggle, poor network. You can see the feedback from your colleagues online. Electricity issues, connectivity. Some are saying not use at all. Internet, network, poor internet. Some students cannot afford it. And moves on and moves on and moves on and moves on. Now, since you are part of this, you can see how the collaboration is moving on. So if you're a lecturer, you can engage with your student with this real-time feeds. So whilst you are teaching, you can post these kind of questions for them to share their thought, and you share with your student. So within a matter of about 2 minutes or say 5 minutes, you will get a view of virtually all the students. Aspect where students must learn from their colleagues, they can easily learn from there. And Socrative is also free. So I'm still getting feedback, and it's quite impressive. So you can see over 101 of us have responded to this question. And we can see the flow with the major challenges as internet and electricity issues, poor network, some also lack their skills, and you can see the trend and the pattern of the feedback from you, which could be your students.
Please, excuse me, Mr. Freeman.
Yes,
your
madam.
Screen is only showing half the part. And you please, we need to see what you are scrolling, the responses.
Okay, so these are all the responses from
but it's half the screen.
Oh, unless I scroll, there are a bunch of them, about 100 and something. So I hope you can see your feedback, your input.
I can see it, but what I'm saying is your screen, you are not showing the beginning of your page. You are showing like 1/3 or 2/3.
I think what the screen can accommodate.
When I scroll, the screen cannot accommodate all the 105 responses. So unless you scroll, then you'll be able to know the submissions. That is how it works. Good. So this is a feedback, real feed from you, and it's real time. Now let's move on to the next question.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes,
hello,
madam.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes. Hi. Good. Now this is the next question. I asked this question: do your students feel tired or sleepy in your classroom sometimes? This is a weird question though, but I just needed this feedback from you. And that is the feedback. This is used for pools. It has got that component like the pool everywhere. So out of 103 of us who answered, about 58% of us affirm that yes, students sleep in our classroom. So the question is, how can we then avoid some of these things to happen? And how can we collaboratively engage the students such that your delivery will be continuous and can flow easily? So tools like the Socrative can easily help us. Now, when we move on to the next question, that how do you engage your students in the classroom? Some says quizzes, from quizzes through discussions, ask questions, students can interact with questions, welcome new ideas, questions, group discussions, practical, these are all feedback from you, and I appreciate the feedback, videos, group, these are just awesome and perfect, delivery, especially when it comes to online engagement and even with the face-to-face delivery. So quite a number of them use of tools. Good. We can learn from colleagues here who have shared that icebreakers, pool and emails, ask questions, ask individual answers. Fantastic. In fact, these are perfect demonstration of how we can use online collaborative tools and also to even engage our students online. Another aspect, I also asked a question, how do you usually assess your students? Like Prof, did the presentation on assessment. So these are your feedback by asking from questions, assignment, objective questions, quizzes, comprehension, online through quizzes, not yet, projects, quite a number of them, using rubrics, multiple choice questions. Yeah, so within a matter of 5 minutes, you should be able to get real-time feedback from your student. You notice we can do both the synchronous and then the asynchronous type. The use of Pool Everywhere or Socrative can be used for the real-time synchronous feedback and discussion with your student. And you can get prompt feed from your student as and when you launch it. Now, I asked the very last question for you to copy this link. Just copy this link and then paste it in your browser. Open a tab. I think I needed to indicate that instruction for you. You copy this link, which most of you copied, not necessary for you to respond.
Sorry, Mr. Freeman.
Yes, sir.
Before you move on,
yes,
would you kindly tell us if it is possible to get answers in percentage? For instance, those who have scored, who have said they engage students by quizzes.
Yes.
Can the system organize it? Because the numbers are so big. So that you are able to have quizzes 10%, useful links 20%, asking questions 40%.
Fantastic. Yes, you can express it in percentages. For example, you notice the very first question I shared on this question is expressed in percentage. It depends on how you set up your question. If it's a text-based question where you require them to type, of course, you cannot quantify it unless you do thematic analysis or just to get that rare feed. Okay, but if you want to use it as a pool to gain the feedback from there in percentages, then of course you have to use it as a multiple choice type. So you define a specific, options they can choose from there. You can quantify it and then get a real feed. Okay, so I'll show you how to own one yourself, so you all be at the same page. Fantastic. Good. So the last aspect of the question that I asked is how we can use tools like Padlet for other synchronous or asynchronous collaborative engagement and also for forum discussions. So I told you to just copy this link, copy the link up to the U. Okay, just copy it. You copy the link, then you open your web browser and paste it. Good. But when you paste it, it will land you a page like what you are seeing on my screen. I hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can see.
Yes, I can see this.
Yes,
I can see the screen.
Perfect, perfect. So this is one tool. Yes. So this is my Padlet wall. And I want to gain the feeds from my students to tell me how they are going to, or how you facilitate discussions with your students online. So this is a wall. The Padlet tool is just like a wall or just a flip. So you have your flip chart, you write, you stick on the wall, like the typical face-to-face delivery. But with online, that component can still be used without, doing it face-to-face. So they will just open up a page like this. You will have to create the Padlet wall, share the link with your student, like I shared with you right now. All you need to do is to click on the share, then you can copy the link, okay? Once you copy the link, you can share it to the student via WhatsApp. As we remember, we are in an emergency situation in our world educational paradigm. You can share it through WhatsApp, or you can use the Socrative as a landing page to share it, or you can share it through their emails, or you can share it on your LMS platform. Okay, so once the student opens the page, all they will do is to click on this plus button here. You see the plus button here, plus, that thing that looks like at the bottom right corner. You see the plus button. I hope you can all see. When you click on this plus button, it will enable you to type in any feedback or any contribution to the discussion. So for example, you can type the title, or you can type your name or whatever, or any title that you want to share. Maybe my discussion or whatever. Or you can just type your name. It could be anything. Then your contribution to the discussion, you type it here. Maybe how do you facilitate discussion? Maybe I mostly use Padlet. and maybe Socrative. Some also use Google Doc, which they can also use, or they can use Moodle platform, forum discussion, or whatever. So there are so many of these tools that you can use. Now, when the students start to share these feeds, you can go ahead to rate. You can see, I can see your feeds flowing all over. Now, as a lecturer, you can inform the student to rate the feed from the students to see how the flow of the discussion goes. So once I hit the page, I can rate maybe the Dinah's, thank you, Professor, for this fruitful information. I would love to rate this and give Dinah, say, 5 star. Well, then another student can rate maybe this. I share my slides and give room for discussion. If I want to rate, I can just rate this and give, say, 5 star. Perfect. So you can see that there are real-time, engagement with students. We've disabled this thing. Okay. Good.
Okay. Oh, God.
Hello. Are you all together?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So this is a Padlet wall, and we can use the Padlet wall to engage our students collaboratively. And this is a perfect tool. Again, you can use Google Doc also for some of these collaborative engagements. Google Doc, you know how Google Doc works. You just go to the Google Doc, own one, then share the link with the student, and they can just type in and start with the collaborative engagements. Perfect. So now the question is, how do I own one of these tools? These are not difficult tools to use, and these tools are also free to get on the web. Amid COVID-19 and its associated issues, I think using tools like Padlet for collaborative engagement in addition with the LMS platform will actually go a long way to enhance real-time synchronous delivery. So, colleagues, I want you to own one of these tools. I want you to own the Socrative. How do you get your Socrative account? I want to sign out here, and I want you to visit www.socrative.com. I want you to own a Socrative page. Good. So a page will open like this for you. So since you are going to be teacher after this particular webinar, go and create the teacher portal and own an account for yourself as a teacher. So go to Socrative.com, Socrative.com. Now click on the login. Let me go there before, okay, let's guide you. So Socrative.com, the page will load like this for you. Good. They have updated their portal and you can sign up for free. If you don't have a Socrative account, you can just sign up for free. Sign up Socrative for free. Or if you already have an account, all you need to do is just to click to log in. Okay. Okay. So you can log in as a student or you can log in as a teacher. Now, I want you to sign up if you don't have one. Okay. So if you want to sign up, you just click on sign up. There are a few informations here that you have to provide, like your first name, your email address, your last name. You confirm, you move on to the next page. Okay. Good. Good. I want to give you some few minutes to do that and create your account. I already have an account, so no need for me to create another one. Or you can just sign in with your Google account if you already have a Google account.
There's no place for signing in for me.
Kindly refresh your page, or if you don't have an account, then you click on sign up.
But there's nowhere. Where do I put sign up?
Please click on the home page. Click on the home page.
I think it is create account, please.
Yeah, you can create account.
Secretive.com.
You have to scroll
Yes.
down. You have to scroll down.
Secretive.com. I wrote that and something came. I don't have anywhere to sign up for something.
Check the spelling of the Socrative. Check the spelling of the Socrative. It's SOCRATIVE.com. Are you on this page?
Sorry.
Can you SOCRATIVE.com?
Let me look for it. Sorry, I wrote the wrong thing.
All right. Thank you for getting on board. Well, good. Colleagues, how many of you have been able to log in? If you have done that, please respond with the sound AAU.
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 If I log in successfully,
AAU.
All right. I want to see
AAU.
AAU.
AAU. Fantastic. Excellent. Awesome.
AAU.
Awesome.
AAU.
Good.
AAU.
Well, thank you so much. You guys.
AAU.
Excuse me, how do you manage? Do you need to have two devices? How do you manage the Zoom screen and the sign-in screen?
Oh, okay. All you need to do is to minimize your Zoom page somewhere. Once you monitor, then you open your browser and start engaging.
Okay, that is when you are using laptop.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Hello. Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Can I ask a question, sir?
Please go ahead.
I was going to ask the question that the last speaker just asked, but I discovered that students will also be required to have this Socrative account. Am I right?
You are right, please.
And in a situation where students, like the situation we face in my country here, being an online teacher, I discovered personally that some of our students find it difficult to own laptops. So some of them join our online classes using mobile devices like phones.
Yes, you
smartphone.
can.
So and at the moment, I'm even using a smartphone for this program. When you asked us to do the practicals, I was trying to connect only to discover that I was disconnected from Zoom. So in a situation like that, what can we do to help students who may not be able to have a laptop, but they are using phones? And the phone, but when you're on Zoom, in an attempt to log in, you may be disconnected like I just experienced.
Okay. Unfortunately, if you are on Zoom, you cannot be disconnected when you are using another application. Perhaps your network. But that
is when you are using a laptop.
Perfect. Yeah, but
I'm using a phone, and I just experienced that.
That's fine. We have got a mobile version for this, the Socrative. You have the mobile app. Once you download, you can just go to Play Store on Google or the iOS and type Socrative. Download Socrative for Teacher. Okay. So you can use and get the mobile version as well.
Thank you very much for that.
All right.
Mr. Freeman, can I say something, please?
Mr. Freeman,
can I say something, please, Mr. Freeman?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
If you are using a smartphone, you need to download the Zoom app. If you are on Zoom in browser, when you want to enter the Socrative software to log out, to log you out of Zoom. So probably he logged in the browser, not in the Zoom app.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Hello,
okay,
Mr. Freeman.
Yes, madam. Please go ahead with your question.
Okay. With the registration, I realized that at the end of the final phase, there's Socrative Free and there's Socrative Pro, and the Pro demands that you pay a fee of
use the Socrative Free.
So my question is, what are the demerits in both? I mean, what if you use free up to which amount of time? If you use Pro, what are the consequences? I mean, why the two? If you could give us some.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much. Sami, please mute your mic if you are not talking. So, yes, the Pro version has got a comprehensive functionalities, unlimited, accounts, and you can even integrate it with your other, system, with your university's system. But with a free account, you can equally do everything just like the Pro, just that the limitations that you get here will be some other functionalities that will be disabled. But if you are using just for collaborative engagement and for conducting, say, quizzes, multiple choice, true or false, short answers, collaboration, then of course, we can use the free version. Okay, so you can still explore more and see which one that can. Of course, I know everybody would love to go in for the free version and try how it works. There are a few limitations with the free version, but for online engagement, you can actually do quite a number and quite an unlimited quizzes and unlimited multiple choice of collaborative engagement with students. So I would recommend
Mr. Freeman, Mr. Freeman, please, I have a question, please.
I noticed that the Socrative is almost similar to Pool Everywhere.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, and Pool Everywhere does not require students to have an account.
Yes, this one. Yeah, this one to students don't have to get an account. I was coming to explain how this works.
Okay, Mr. Freeman, please, I have a quick question.
Okay.
For while I was trying to sign up, I discovered it says that the maximum number of participants is 50. A class where you have more than 50 students, would you have to upgrade to the pro?
No, it works more. It works more than 50. You notice the quiz I gave you when we started. I'm using the free version, and I got close to about almost 160 responses.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, that is when you are creating accounts for the student. That is where they matter. Yes. So first of all, when you are able to create an account, by default, Socrative will generate your room name for you. So those of you who have logged in, you see at the top here, you see your name or looks like your surname with some numbers. If your name is very unique, like some of the typical African or Indian names, you will see the name just like that. But for example, my name Freeman is an English name and everybody has got Freeman all over. So I get some numbers, but you can modify the room name as well, as and when you want to use it. Okay.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Freeman.
Hi.
Is it compulsory that my students register for Socrative? Or can we just use Padlet, like you said? Or just take one out of this?
Come again.
My question is, should we just take one out of all the elements that you just described? We talk about the Google Scholar. We talk about
there are a bunch of those. There are a bunch of those tools. Just choose one or two you are familiar with.
Okay.
And then start to own it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Hello, Freeman. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Freeman. Yeah.
Yes,
sir. Can you hear me? Yeah. I'd like to ask a question. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello, Mr. Freeman.
I can hear you, sir. Prof, please go ahead with your question.
All right. Concerning the students, who should create the account? The students themselves or the teacher for each student?
Okay. Now, like I wanted to finish up how you can use it. Then the questions come through. Okay. So please just give me 5 minutes. Let me walk you through how Socrative works for.
Okay. Thank you.
Engage with your student. Number one, once you create the account, it will generate a unique room name for you. In this case, my room name is the Freeman 3786. You notice that when I wanted you to collaborate with me with the discussion that I started with you, I gave you my room name to connect and answer my questions. Okay, so you will have to issue this room name to your students, okay, by just telling them or opening it and sharing this with them. Okay, so the student, all that they will do is to click on the student login. Then they will enter the Freeman, your unique room name for the student before they can hit your page. Now, there are so many functionalities that you can use. Like you can use it to conduct, say, quizzes. Okay, please mute your mic. you can use it, choose like the quizzes. Okay, so you see here, I have been using this for most of my collaboration with my students and a lot of workshops that I've been using these tools for. Okay, so you can see all my online collaborative, links that I've shared with my students. Okay, so you see here quizzes. So for example, if you want to first post a poll, like the poll everywhere, and then get feedback from the student and discuss the way forward, you can just click on the quiz. You see launch here. Don't click on the quiz at the landing page. This is where we launch it. But if you want to create your own quiz,
please.
Please mute your mic. Okay, good. So if you want to create your quiz, you just have to click on these quizzes. Okay. Then a page you open like this, then see a portion say add quiz. Add quiz. Add quiz. Okay. So then you click on create. Okay. Within a matter of 2 minutes, you should be able to finish. First of all, indicate the title of your quiz. Maybe you just want to indicate, like I shared with my own, maybe I want to post something like say discussion on say COVID-19. Okay, well, there are so many multiple choice options that you can choose, like the multiple choice, true or false, or short answers, depending on what you want. So if you want to use a multiple choice, you click on multiple choice. So your questions should be aligned here. So you type the question here. Then you type the possible answers here. Options where you want to indicate the correct answer, you can take when you want to use it for quizzes. But if it's just for discussion and just to conduct polls, then all that you need to do is to just create the multiple choice and see the ratings or the votings, and then see how the flow is going, and then make judgment in your class. So if you want to use a multiple choice type, you just type in the question here. Okay, just type in the question here. Maybe I'm tempted to ask a certain question, but for obvious reasons, I want to hold it here. So you can just type your question here. Maybe you can type in, indicate how you can contract COVID-19 virus. Okay, so you just type in that question. They indicate, say, your multiple choice question, or for example, if I want to ask a question, let's say, maybe what's the capital city? What's the capital city of Ghana? For example, I can indicate my correct answers, like multiple answers, like say, we have Cape Coast, as we have say Accra, we have say Kumasi or something like that. We have say
Abuja.
Or Abuja. Well, so if the correct answer is Accra, you can just choose it. Okay, and then, or if you want to just make it open, you can just, if it's just. Then if you are done, all you need to do is just click on just save, then you move on. Please, I want to give you 2 minutes for you to do this whilst I monitor you. Okay. Have you been able to get our very first question?
No, I'm not.
No. Help create the question.
I have been able to create my first question.
Yes, I did. Okay.
I've not been able. Oh.
Okay, just click, choose whichever option, multiple choice or true or false. If it's a multiple choice, this is how we do it.
I've done it.
Perfect. Good job.
Not done it. I was not able.
I've also done it.
I've done it.
What did you do?
I've chosen true or false option.
What does it mean to say align quiz to standards?
Yes, I've done mine.
Perfect. Those of you, if you want to create the next question, true or false, you can just type in here. Maybe, maybe if you want to say say COVID-19. Oh.
The capital of Ghana is Accra. True or false?
Okay, so COVID-19 is caused by maybe by a virus or something.
I am lost.
True or false? Okay. Where are you?
I was not able to create the quiz.
Where are you? Where are you on your page?
On the quiz, the very first page on Socrative.
Can you log in?
I'm inside.
Then if you're inside, you click on quizzes.
I have clicked.
Yes, so if you have clicked on that, then all you need to do, to click on these quizzes.
Yes, I've done that.
Then add a quiz. Add quiz.
Oh, where do I?
Please mute your mic.
How do you edit a question once it has been saved?
All right. Or you see the buttons here, edit, delete, up, down. So you can just click on this, that thing that looks like a pencil.
Okay.
You click on to edit.
Hello, Marimu, I have lost you completely. My charger, my phone, my computer is going off. I think you'll give me time. Some time.
That is fine.
Out of this class.
That is fine.
This is Dr. Njuguna, Felista, Kenya.
All right, Doc. We wait for you. Connect soon.
I don't have it's at home, my charger.
Oh, we are sorry. I'm sure we are recording it, so we make the video.
Okay.
Hello. Let's go ahead. We'll send the recorded version to everybody. Dr. Felicita, you will have access to the recorded version. Thank you. So please, Mr. Freeman, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
So this is a example. Now, you can add your short answers. Kwaku, please disable the annotation. I wanted to do it, but people are still annotating. Okay.
Sure. Mr. Freeman.
Yes, Prof.
Yeah, you see, what I want to suggest that, there's more to Socrative than time we're allowed today. Next week, the session is on synchronous and asynchronous tools. Since there's a lot of interest, my suggestion is that let's defer this to next week so that we just focus on the hands-on. We just introduce a topic and then we focus on the hands-on. That way we take them from the beginning to the end. How to create an account, how to create quizzes, different types of quizzes, and stuff like that. Because we've spent a lot of time, over 1 hour, 16 minutes already.
Right.
So that people can have a
That's great.
discussion. Yeah. So next week we just focus on the hands-on. We take you from beginning to the end.
Perfect.
That'd be great.
I agree. I concur.
All right, Prof. Thank you. But in the meantime, you can also explore. We have introduced the tool to you, and then you can explore. So this is how you set up your quizzes and then your online discussion board for collaborative engagement. In the same vein, if you want to use the same approach for the, in fact, once you are done with all, you just click on save and exit. Okay, then you have successfully saved your quiz. For those of you who are following. But to gain the opportunity for your student to collaborate and respond, you have to launch it first. Okay, so you click, you move from the quiz to the launch. Okay, then you click on the quiz. Currently, the one that you were doing is the one active. So I need to pause that one.
So what's
if I want to make this one launch, you just pick that quiz, then you move on to the next. I will explain this one into details on as to how you can do the synchronous type and the asynchronous based on this feedback type. So we have the instant feedback where students will enter their name and then I will get I can even shuffle the questions if it's a quiz. Then I can get real feedback. I will demonstrate it. Or if you want to use navigation or teacher paste, there are so many options here we can use. Good. So that is how we use Socrative. Now, to own the Padlet page, in the same vein, all you need to do is to just get a Padlet account, which of course you can just use your emails to gain your Padlet account. All right. Okay, so you can just type www.padlet.com. Okay, www.padlet.com. Okay, so it's also free. You can just click on sign up for free. Just that the free wall can give you up to about a minimum of about 3 or 4 walls or so. But you can create a number of walls and start engaging with your student. You can delete, create new walls and share with your student. So you can sign up for free if you don't have one. You can use your Gmail or Apple Mail or whichever account you have to sign up for, and it's also for free. Okay. When you already have an account, you just click on login and it will take you to the landing page. All right. This one, all you need to do is to share the link with your student via WhatsApp, via email, or via your LMS platform, and they'll be able to connect either on their mobile phones or on their web browser. When the students are able to log in successfully, all that they'll be doing is to click on the Padlet word that you shared, like this very one that I shared. When they log in, all that they'll be doing is to click on this plus button here. You see the word that I shared with you to collaborate and add their voices to the discussion.
Mr. Freeman?
So, yes, madam.
Mr. Freeman. Yes, sir. Can you log in with your own email account without creating another one?
Sure, you can do that unless you sign up.
Okay.
You have to sign up with your own email address.
I can also do that with the one, that Socrative that you've already taught?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So these tools are just free to use, and you can use it for your online collaborative engagement with your students. Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate your attention.
Mr. Freeman.
Hi.
Please, before you leave, on Padlet,
yes,
there are 3 different, I don't know what they call those places that you can sign in. There's a make a Padlet,
Yes.
join, a Padlet, and gallery. Which one?
Yes, I can see most people are interested to own their Padlet worlds now. Well, all you need to do is to click on make a Padlet.
Okay.
Just click on make a Padlet.
Okay.
Make a Padlet. So this is how, when you are new, I have exhausted my Padlet unless I delete some of my Padlet wall. With the free version, you have, I think, a maximum of about 5 or so. So if you don't need it, you can just delete any of those Padlets.
Please, Dr. Freeman.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Please
Can
go
I ask
ahead.
a question, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, please. How much of data usage does this something take? Because when we consider our students, especially those who are, secondary school, primary school students with low income parents.
Yes,
how much of data does it take?
Even 20 MB is even enough. 20 megabytes worth of data is even enough. For example, with the Socrative, once you launch it, it doesn't stream again. Once it's launched, it doesn't refresh the page, so it doesn't add up to your bandwidth. All right, and then Padlet 2, it automatically refreshes as and when you are adding, which doesn't also impose a lot of data issues for your student. And most of the posts here can be text-based or can be video or whatever. It's minimal.
What's that in terms of space? How much space does it take?
No, this is a cloud, tool. It's online, so you don't need to install on your computer or whatever. If you want to use a web type, but if you want to download the app on your phone, I think it's even less than 50 MB, especially in the case of the Socrative.
So I've already installed Padlet. What next?
Well, thank you so much. I just want to alert you that next week there will be another section which Professor Osei Darkwa indicated, where we will do both the synchronous and the asynchronous, and we'll be taking you through step by step. But for now, we have introduced to you the tools, and these are free tools to use. You can explore and then come with your questions next week, hopefully. Thank you so much for your time. Prof?
Okay.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much, Mr. Freeman.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman.
Hi, thank you.
Freeman.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
So much. Thank you. I'm happy to be part of this from Bamenda, Cameroon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all, Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have you been hiding?
All right. Hello. Can you mute your microphone? The
Thank
session
you,
hasn't
Elliot
ended yet.
from Zimbabwe.
The session hasn't ended yet. Can you please kindly mute your microphone?
On your side?
I have a question, please.
I don't have a bulb light, for example. Only the socket is working.
Kindly mute your microphones, everybody, please.
Sorry, please.
Thank you. We have not ended the session. Please mute your microphone.
Oh, sorry, please. I have a... Please, I have a question, please. Anti-mute me. Hello, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead with your question.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Please, sir, I had network fluctuation when the setting questions was going on. So before I could rectify it, I just met the people on setting the question. I didn't know how it all started. Using Padlet to set questions, yes.
Okay, so we'll send you the recorded version of today's webinar, so you can catch up with wherever you ended. If you have any difficulty, kindly put your questions down for next week's session. Professor Darkwa and then Mr. Freeman will answer your questions for you next week, especially with the process that you missed. Is that okay?
Yes, it's okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Professor Darkwa, please, do you have any final words or you are done for today?
Mr. Freeman.
Hi.
Mr. Freeman.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry. Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, Mr. Freeman.
Hi, sir.
I have an opinion, of course, just a query. Many people are apologizing, are requesting some recorded version of this way.
All right. Like the host
I'm
mentioned,
also recommending this, if it's possible.
we share the video.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Please, I would like to say something.
All right, go ahead.
Please, it's a suggestion to make the webinar more effective and productive for all of us. That the hosts should always mute everybody and disable participants from being able to unmute themselves. So when anybody has anything to say, they should use the raise hand option on the chat. So when they raise their hand, the host can unmute them. So that everybody will not just be talking at the same time. I want to say something, I want to say something, and it's quite distracting.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. All right. Okay. Professor Darkwa, if you are available, do you have any closing remarks for us before we end the session today? Your microphone is muted, Prof. Darkwa.
All right, you can hear me now, right?
Yes, we can hear you, Prof.
Okay, good. What I want to say is that from next week, we will start, we introduce the cancers very, very briefly, and then we'll move on to, to do the hands-on stuff, because I know there's a lot of interest in the demonstration of the tools. Next week, for example, we are going to talk about synchronous and asynchronous tools. So again, we just try to define what is asynchronous, what is synchronous, how do you do that, and all that. And then quickly, we will select some tools like we did today. Today, at least we touch on 3 basic tools. We use Pool Everywhere. Now, Pool Everywhere is a PowerPoint add-on. There's a lot of background noise. Pool Everywhere, is a PowerPoint add-on. So when you go to pooleverywhere.com, /app, and you install it, it will integrate that into PowerPoint. So within that, then you can, give it to your students and do this live interaction. So that's one tool. And of course, we introduce Socrative, so next week, there's a lot to learn, So we take it from where we started today, creating of an account, signing as a student, signing as a teacher, and then how to create quizzes and different types of questions, through false questions, multiple choice questions, short answer questions. We take you through all that. How do you get the results, and how do you use that, as a tool to assess your students? So we touch on that as well. Of course, we touch on Padlet today as well. There's more to learn about Padlet than what we covered today. So if there's interest, we can revisit that so that we take you from the beginning to the very end. There are several tools. In addition to Pool Everywhere, in addition to all that. For me, for example, one useful tool which will be used is called Doodle Pool, DOODLE, and then Pool, POLL. It's a great tool, to set up meetings and appointments and all that. Most of these tools, if you are the facilitator and you'll be using it, definitely you need to create an account. But for the students, there's no point to create an account. They can just join and use it. You know, like what we saw of Socrative. You don't need to create an account. You know, there's a room. The facilitator will give the students a room number. You know, generally, if your name, like mine is Darkwa, my last name, you know, but then if your name is very common, as Freeman, we saw with Freeman, they'll always ask some numbers, which you can also change. You know, so that is what we'll be doing. We'll do more hands-on moving forward. You know, we would start with concepts briefly, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like we did today, because you need to understand the concepts before you can do the hands-on. So moving forward, I think that is the approach we are going to take. You know, we've tried as much as possible not to mute everybody from the source, from the host, you know, because when you do that, sometimes, you know, we have over 200 people who have signed up, and if somebody raises his or her hand, you have to go through all the names on mute. You know, so that is why we always appeal to you that place. You know, mute your microphone if you are not speaking. Raise your hand when you have something to contribute. If we all do that, it will be very smooth, you know, for all of us. Because with that background noise, you know, it also affects the quality of the recording as well. So that is an appeal. And hopefully from next week, we'll be able to, you know, abide by these rules. So on this note, let me thank you very much for attending today's webinar. And we still have series of webinars to cover. And we always appreciate your comments and your contributions and your suggestions. And we always incorporate that. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Osei Darkwa. And on behalf of the Secretary General, we want to say thank you for joining us today and also sharing your experience and knowledge with our participants. Again, thank you to Mr. Freeman for assisting Prof. Today. Now, these are a few announcements I would like to pass through. Number one, like we always send you emails. If you do not receive email from us, it means that your email address you give us keeps bouncing. So please make sure that you just type in your correct email address so that we'll be able to give you updates on the series as well. Two, like Prof said, this is an interactive training. That is why we have not taken your microphone rights from you. But if we keep having some obstructions and distractions in the class, we will be compelled to take the microphone right. Like Prof appealed, next week we are asking that we pay attention to the microphone protocol. If you are not asking a question, kindly mute your microphone. Three, some of us on the chat platform were indicating that the voice was either lagging or your videos had a problem. If you experience any voice lag, it means that your internet bandwidth is very low. So we always advise that you always keep your video off so that it will give you the opportunity to have successful streaming. So next week, if you have any problem with your internet, please don't switch your video on. Switch it off and only use your microphone if only you want to talk. Finally, we would also want to appeal to everyone that you can still share the link. We'll be using the same link for next week webinar. You can invite your colleagues, you can invite others who would want to join the webinar as well. Certification will be given to participants who have gone through the 12 modules. We have 7 more to go, and I understand Prof. Darkwa has extra 2 that will be topping us with. And so we have virtually about 7 or 9 topics to go. And we wish you all the best. We hope that you'll be able to practice more and then also engage your student. The aim and vision of the AAU is to ensure that all academics are abreast with the current trends and are able to engage their students online. On this note, may I thank everyone. Keep visiting our website. There are a lot of opportunities. There are a series of trainings going on, some in quality assurance, some in research, and then in other topical areas as well. Keep visiting our website, www.aau.org, and you have access to our streams of opportunities that AAU is offering throughout this pandemic. Thank you, and please have a good day. If you have any queries, my email address is kasam@aau.org. kasam@aau.org.
Mr. Sam.
Mr. Hello, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Sir.
Hello. Go
Can
ahead.
we please have the? Can we please have our lecture notes for the past week and this week, please?
Yes, we'll do that. But what I'm saying is,
Okay.
if you have not been receiving emails from me, please, it means that your email address you provided is wrong. So kindly make sure that we have access to your correct email address. It's possible a friend invited you today. Send an email to us to get your right email address. But if you have been receiving emails from us, please don't send any extra email. We already have your email address. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sam,
Best of the day.
Mr.
Yes,
Sam, may I make a quick request?
Please do.
Yeah, so this is Maxwell, Director of Finance of the Association.
Yes.
I'm not so sure whether you made this announcement to our participants, but in terms of support to the AAU, we'll be very glad if participants will carry across to their vice chancellors and presidents of the universities that they should also help the AAU in supporting the AAU. We have a lot of universities who are owing for their membership arrears, and it's from these sources that we help to bring you such gratuitous programs as this one. So please carry across to your vice chancellors, your various chief accountants and directors of finance, BSS, registrars, that please, you should also fulfill your obligations to the AAU so that we can bring you more of such training. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amohoit, the Director of Finance of AAU. Thank you for joining, everyone. On this note, on behalf of the Secretary General, I want to thank you for joining us. See you same time next week. The link is exactly the same. Have the best of the week. Bye.
Thank you, Kwesi.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you from Cameroon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you from Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Stay
safe, everyone.
Stay safe.
National University of Nigeria.
Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you from
Nigeria. Thank you for great presentations.
from Southern African African University. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. From Fountain University Oshogbo. Thank you for Baltic Nigeria.
Thank you from University of Ibadan.
Are you speaking Igbo to me?
Thank you from Anchor University, Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Thank you from Nigeria.
Thank you from Lowell Fountain University Oshogbo, Nigeria.
Thank you from Lee City University, Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you from Nigeria.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a wonderful day.
God bless you.
Thank you from Nigeria.
Thank you from the Catholic University of Mozambique.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you very much. A great day. God bless you.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Dr. Katamba, thank you for watching.
God bless you all. Bye. You're welcome.
Thank you all, sir, from the Catholic University of Mozambique.
Thank you all.
Thank you all, and bye-bye. See you next week.
Bye.
Love you all. Bye. Bye. Thank you from Nigeria. Bye. Love you all. Bye.